Hi everyone, I'm Sarah Canadian. Welcome back to my 10-week decluttering challenge, where I am challenging you to conquer your clutter, regain control over your space, and live a more organized life. I wanted to check in to see how you were doing this week. Mindset can be tricky since you have to face your clutter and whatever else is hiding in there. If you haven't had a chance yet to pick up a copy of my 10-week decluttering challenge workbook on Amazon, I'll leave a link below and you can grab a copy, or you can just use a notebook you have and follow along with the YouTube series. You can always refer back to the first video for some motivation and a recap on how to get on track to crush this challenge. I will be here each week as you progress through the various rooms in your house and get the clutter under control by trashing, stashing, donating, or selling what you no longer need. So to get your mindset in alignment for this challenge, you need to know deeply why you want to go on this journey. Why do you want to get decluttering as part of your lifestyle and beyond this 10-week challenge, right? So ask yourself, what is your motivation for decluttering? Is it more time, less stress, a fresh start, a more organized life? So maybe you're moving or you have to help a loved one clear out a home that they have lived in and accumulated items in for decades. You're going to need to stay focused and go through this challenge, and there will be overwhelm and tense emotions because saying goodbye to things can be tough. Even physically sorting through a pile of clutter can be exhausting, but you can do it, and definitely you should do it, because once you get your life in a clear and organized space, you'll feel incredible and you'll be so happy that you did this decluttering challenge. There will be ups and downs through this, but we'll work through it together, one box, one bag, one bin, and one area at a time. The most important thing will be to create a decluttering plan and to set realistic goals so you can start strong and stay consistent. Planning tasks daily will help you to stay on track and keep the momentum going. So to refocus for this week, in case you're still sorting out your plan and your mindset for the next 9 weeks, I want you to think about what your decluttering goals are and identify the problem areas in your house that you're going to have to really focus on. Then you're going to create your decluttering schedule, so daily doing tasks. You can also write down some notes about what your top priorities are and then decide how you want to approach the clutter. So you will have these items that you use most frequently and daily available and not hidden away somewhere in a pile of who knows what, right? This is about setting your life up for how you want it to flow. One of the decluttering perks that I always love is that you're going to find a bunch of stuff stashed away in your cupboards or drawers that you forgot you had, right? It's like you're shopping in your house sometimes. So you're going to either use some of those items to reorganize some clutter that you already have and belongings you already have, or you're just going to be able to say hey, I forgot that I had this, and you're going to get to use something and it'll feel like it's brand new to you. So that's going to be a good feeling and hopefully keep you motivated to continue this journey. I also think it's very important to have a central area for decluttering supplies like extra bins, garbage bags, and boxes. So you're going to use these for reorganizing your items after you've decluttered, storing items safely to be sold or donated. So you need to decide what is just garbage and then what is stuff that I have to actually go through, think about, and decide whether I need it. This is the practice, and this is what it's going to take for you to keep digging through the piles of clutter and get closer each time you do this, right? You'll become more organized and more in control of your clutter. The last thing is you need to reassure yourself that decluttering is a process. So listen to some good tunes, have some snacks ready if you get hangry, and some drinks in case you need to rehydrate, because you definitely will. It's gonna take some effort on your part. But keep yourself motivated. Keep yourself in a good mood. Don't be miserable doing this. It can be uncomfortable, difficult, and challenging, but it's also worth it. So remember to celebrate those small wins. Like I said, having something easily available or being able to tell someone it's right there and I know it's there, that's a victory. Keep yourself motivated with that so you can keep that momentum going. So if you haven't already written this in your notes, why don't you write down, every decluttering task builds momentum and helps me to conquer my clutter and create the life that I want. If you're still having some curiosity about how you're going to tackle your clutter, let's go through some easy ideas right now. So declutter a small, easy area, a drawer, a nightstand, or an area that's a very simple, quick win for you. That's going to get your confidence up. Clear a clutter-free zone. So designate a small space, a countertop or a coffee table, as always clutter-free. Also, purge expired items. Go through your cabinets, your pantry, and fridge and just get rid of anything that's gone bad or expired. You also can declutter a high traffic area, like your entryway or your kitchen counters. That's going to make an instant impact. Another thing is establish the 1 minute rule. If a task is going to take you less than a minute, like putting away your shoes, just do it right away. Another thing is setting a timer. So a 5-minute declutter. So I have 5 minutes, I'm just gonna set a timer and I'm gonna get into the decluttering, and this is gonna start building that habit that you're gonna have to do every single day, right? Or at least many times a week. Another thing is removing duplicates. You can pick one category like mugs or t-shirts and just keep only what you truly use. And if you do need some more mental shifts for creating your clutter-free life, why don't you adopt the less but better mindset, right? Quality over quantity in everything you own. Let go of the sunk cost guilt. Like, just because you spent money on it doesn't mean you have to keep it. Recognize emotional attachments, acknowledge sentimental clutter, and only keep what truly adds value to your life, to the person you are today. Also, you can create decluttering mantras, like repeating, I choose space over stuff, I choose calm over chaos. If you can easily replace it and it's creating more harm than good by keeping it, donate it, sell it, or store it somewhere else, if that makes sense. The worst is keeping on to something that you think you're gonna need, or buying duplicates and you think you're gonna need them, but when you go back to them, they're gone bad or they're broken, or altogether you forgot you bought it and you buy it again. So it just keeps building on that clutter. I hit on this before, but one of my favorite hacks for decluttering is just setting a timer. So if you have more time, set like 45 minutes to an hour. If you have a shorter amount of time, like 5, 10, 15 minutes, and then just turn your timer on, clear your space, and then you will see your transformation. Also, you can take pictures before and after as proof of like, wow, I really did make a big impact in just 15 minutes. As the weeks go by, you'll also get better at identifying what tasks you can accomplish in a specific amount of time, right? You also want to create these realistic goals for yourself so it builds confidence in your ability to do this. And over time, you will see the rewards of this. It's meant to feel rewarding. Every bag of garbage, box of donations, or sale of items is a win, and you should feel good about that. You need to trust the process and know that by perhaps selling a bunch of items that you never look at, you get to buy a really cool piece of furniture or something that's going to help your home stay more organized. So even a shoe rack or a bookshelf or some baskets, that can really help to organize your space. You'll start getting good at knowing what you need in your rooms to help keep you organized. And through this challenge, you're going to create the lifestyle that you truly want and what best suits your needs on a daily basis. So remember, even if you have a few minutes to spare, even while listening to something on YouTube, set a timer for 10-15 minutes and challenge yourself to declutter. It is very powerful. You'll be surprised at how much you can do in a short time. You can also add into your notes some ideas for like smaller decluttering projects and larger ones. And then when you have the time, just go back to your notes and say, okay, I'm going to hit these 3 things today or this week, right? One of the things I wanted to go over is some common questions that I get. So let's jump into those and get those answered today. So the first question is, how do I stay motivated if I start to feel overwhelmed? Well, that's such an important question because the truth is, feeling overwhelmed is completely normal when you're decluttering, especially if you're dealing with years of accumulated stuff or emotional attachments. The key is to pause, not to quit. Overwhelm is a signal to slow down and reset your approach. It's not a reason to give up. So here are a few ways you can stay motivated. Break it into smaller pieces. If the task feels too big, it probably is. So try setting that timer. I keep going back to it because it's very effective, right? Or just choose one small area, a drawer, a shelf, or even a category of things like pens or mugs, because the small wins will lead to big momentum. Focus back on your why. Remember why you started this challenge. Was it to feel more peace at home, to reduce stress, to make space for things that truly matter? Write your why on a sticky note and keep that close to you so you can keep reminding yourself. Reconnecting with your purpose will refuel your energy. Also, celebrate progress. It's not going to be perfect right away. In fact, it might be worse before it gets better, but progress is there. It isn't always visible right away, but every item you let go of, every decision you make to declutter is a win. Motivation grows when you acknowledge those small victories. So please don't hesitate to do that. You can also use our community. If you're doing this challenge here, or if you're doing it with a friend, reach out in the comments below. Share your overwhelm, share your victories, because it's likely someone else is either feeling the same way or that can help to encourage, right? Community will create accountability and we'll get through this together. Also, don't forget to give yourself grace. Decluttering is not a sprint. It is a process. It is a journey. Some days will feel harder than others, and that's okay. Just remember to keep showing up for yourself. Even baby steps forward are still steps in the right direction, okay? You have got this. Stick with it, and your future self will thank you for every choice you're making now. Next question, I get this often. What if I have emotional attachments to items? Well, this is such a big one, right? And you're not alone in feeling this. So a lot of our belongings hold memories, and it can feel like letting go of the item means letting go of the memory. But the truth is, memories live in you. They don't live in your stuff. So you can either take a photo of the item and write a little note or journal about why it mattered to you. And then if you still feel like it's not really serving a purpose to you anymore, give yourself permission to let it go. You know, it's about who you are today. And if it's not serving who you are, it might be time to release it with gratitude. Another question is, how do I handle family members who don't want to declutter? Well, I'm going to just be honest with you. Decluttering is very personal and not everyone will be ready at the same time. I would say just focus on your space and your stuff first and lead by example. When your family sees the benefits you're experiencing, less stress, more calm, clearer space, they might get curious or inspired. So if you're sharing a space, just have an honest conversation about some boundaries and respect for each other's belongings. Number 4, what is the best way to decide what to keep and what to let go of? Well, this can be a process of asking yourself some questions. Do I use this? Do I love this? Would I buy this again today? If the answer is no, then it might be time to let it go. Try not to keep things out of guilt or obligation. Your space should reflect your life now, not just your past or someone else's expectations. Number 5, how do I make time for decluttering when my schedule is already full? Well, that's a great question because life is busy, right? And this is why the workbook is going to help you stay on track and on task, as well as the YouTube videos, because the key is really to start small and stay consistent. Even 10-15 minutes a day adds up fast. You can declutter while you're on a phone call, during commercial breaks, or while your dinner's cooking or your coffee's brewing. Just make sure you keep an eye on it and stay close by. But sorting a pile of clutter on your kitchen counter, that's a good use of your time. Don't wait for the perfect time. Just use those little pockets of time that you already have. You'll be surprised of how much they add up in the long run. So number 6 is, what should I do if I feel guilty about getting rid of things? Guilt is very common, especially when it's gifts or expensive items. But remember, the purpose of it was to make you happy. And if it's not doing that, it's making you feel overwhelmed, it might be time to let it go or store it for another day or think about it another day. Because even though it costs you money, it's also costing you your peace of mind and your space. Letting go of that guilt will pave the way for freedom. Number 7, how do I avoid recluttering after I've cleared a space? Well, guess what? Recluttering happens when you don't change the habits behind the clutter. So here's the trick. Just practice intentional living. Before bringing something new in, ask yourself, do I need this? Do I have space for it? Does it add value in my life? And also, the 1 in, 1 out rule is genius. This is a rule I live by. If I get something new, something old goes out. And that really helps to keep it under control. What if I get stuck and I don't know what to do next? Well, that's also totally normal. When you're stuck, go back to something easy, a small win that builds momentum. Pick a low emotion zone or area, like a junk drawer or expired pantry items. Once you take a break and revisit your vision and your space and remind yourself it's progress and it doesn't have to be perfect. Just do a little something to get back on track. Number 9, how do I stay consistent throughout the challenge? Well, consistency is about showing up. It's not about doing everything perfectly. Set the daily or weekly decluttering goals and make sure they're realistic for your schedule. Use checklists, post in our community, and reward yourself for milestones. Even if you miss a day, just jump back in, right? Because this is a journey, not a race. Number 10, what should I do with items I want to donate or sell? Well, designate the area, and it's a box or a bin for donations, and schedule the regular drop off. Don't let those donation bags sit around forever. Same with garbage. You have to give yourself a deadline, schedule a time to get rid of it, because it'll just end up recluttering your space, and we don't want that. So if you have any questions, please just drop them in the comments below. I would love to answer them for you or share my thoughts. I love hearing from you, so please just remember that we're here together. And it really is important that we stick together so that when you get overwhelmed, we can reframe those and break through this clutter cycle, right? And it is important and a very important part of this journey, right? So if you do feel overwhelmed, instead of saying, hey, I have so much stuff, you can say, every time I let go of things, it brings me closer to clarity, or I choose calm over chaos. Feeling overwhelmed is completely normal. The key really is to break down the tasks into smaller, more manageable steps and focus on progress. Here are some more ways that you can stay motivated. Set your timer and declutter one space. I'm going to go back to that because that is just fundamental. Visualize, imagine your space, envision how you will feel in your space when it's clear and organized. Reward yourself. Plan a small reward for completing a decluttering session. Find a friend or stay on track in our community. Those are going to be really important ways. You've almost made it to the end of week 1, and you deserve congratulations for that because, like I said, mindset can be tricky. So remember, this week you have shifted your mindset, or at least started thinking about doing that. You've created a decluttering plan, and you've started daily habits to keep the momentum going. But if you still feel like you need to explore the mindset and put yourself in a better place, here are a couple journal prompts for you. You can write them down. What felt easy this week? What was challenging? How did decluttering impact my daily routine? What changes did I notice in my energy or focus? What's one thing that I'm proud of? And what's my biggest takeaway from this week? So you can reflect on those if you still need some more motivation, because that will help keep you motivated and get you there. Next week, we're diving into week 2, which is decluttering the entryway and living room. 2 very important areas of your home and spaces where lots of clutter can collect, right? So just make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a new video. And please drop a comment below and tell me, what was your biggest success this week? What challenged you the most? I love hearing about your progress, and I love being here with you through this process. And if you haven't yet, you can grab your 10-week decluttering workbook on Amazon. It will be the ultimate guide through your journey. Everything will be in one place for you, and you can keep referring back to it. So I'll see you next week for another exciting step in our decluttering challenge. Until then, please remember, keep going, stay motivated, and remember, a clutter-free space leads to a clutter-free life. Have a great day, everyone.